Gentlemen, I'd like to talk to you about the effect that the red light districts of Thailand have on our hearts and minds, and a bit about our roles and the emotions we feel in them. In the Western world, you are almost certainly a servant, just like everybody else. You go to work, you have a boss and clients that you need to provide a product or services to in order to earn money. You are a producer, a productivity machine with a role, responsibilities, and a set of tasks that you follow in order to be successful. You are, at the end of the day, a resource. You've probably heard that word hundreds of times in your life by your boss, your management, or the executive team. You've almost certainly sat through boring, mind-numbing, life-draining management presentations, the goals of which essentially all boil down in one way or another to creating systems, procedures, and processes to obtain the highest productivity or yield from you, one of management's human resources. You may have heard that land, gold, or houses are amongst the best investments. That is incorrect. The best investment is control over other human beings' time and labour. Corporations, at the end of the day, exist for this very purpose of extracting productivity from your time and labour. Your labour has value. You're paid a wage, and overall, the company you work for needs to make a profit in order for the company to continue in perpetuity and for you to stay gainfully employed. You must always be asking the question, however, what is my role here? Your role in the Western world is the role of a servant. Let's be clear on that. Now, making regular trips to Thailand to engage in the naughty nightlife has a profound effect on your heart and mind. Places like Pattaya get under your skin and become a part of you. Essentially, by engaging in the naughty nightlife, you're 100% certain to contract a virus of the mind and heart. You're dealing with people who have radically different values than your colleagues in the Western world. These exotic and beautiful people, the Thai prostitutes, are working. You are a client or a customer to them. They are providing you with a service, companionship, and sex. They are your paid servants. You, in many ways, are their masters. Now ask that question again. What is my role here? Your role is king. Think of the naughty nightlife in Thailand. It's like a royal court, with you as the customer in the role of king. The bar girls are your courtiers. In the royal courts of the red light districts of Thailand, you sit upon your throne and your courtiers vie for your attention. The problem for each of us comes when we need to come back home to the West and get back to our roles as servants. We've experienced being treated like kings, and it's incredibly difficult going back to our servant roles. We've gone from being treated like royalty and having high status to being treated like the help, under the control of a boss whose main goal is to extract as much productivity from us as possible. It's a very difficult adjustment to make, and each trip we make to Thailand we need to come home from, and each time we are essentially coming down from the ultimate high and adjusting back to the reality of our roles as servants. A large part of the problem is our dopamine levels need to adjust back to the baseline levels of the office space cubicle world. We've gone from a Disneyland red light environment, which highly stimulated our sexual urges and senses, back to an office environment which is designed to extract as much productivity from us as possible. Red lights of Disneyland to the drab, beige, office space, corporate look and feel. It's enough to almost drive you to violence, or certainly to lash out. This adjustment back to reality, I believe, is at the heart of all our problems that us Western men face back home in the government or corporate world. Our trips to Thailand have imprinted on our hearts and minds incredible experiences which we can never experience here in the West at any price. Our work colleagues give us no sympathy when we get back. Why would they? Almost without exception, they are living miserable lives with moody, fat, nagging, and unattractive wives. You, sir, are the living embodiment of their lost dreams. The predominant feeling they feel towards you is hate, and now that you are back in the corporate world, it's time to make you suffer. How dare you do the things you're doing in Thailand? In your colleagues' eyes, you've gone off the rails and your productivity levels are suffering. Staring at the screen without achieving much of anything is a common symptom of patella withdrawal, and your colleagues and your boss will almost certainly notice this. Your colleagues don't want to see you happy. Not really. They're your competition. It's human nature to love seeing someone being brought down a peg or two. This is why the general public loves seeing a celebrity fall from grace, like Boy George did when he was ordered by a court to do community service. The media, of course, descended upon him like vultures, the media being but a reflection of what the general public wants to see. Could it be, as Western men, that we have a choice to make? Is the choice between being a highly paid servant in the boring, corporatized Western world, or a relatively poorly paid king as a business owner in a red light district in paradise? Is this the choice? Or are there variations on the choice, such as keeping your assets here in the West and living off the income in Thailand? I've been asking many questions since I started making these trips to Thailand, and I think I've reached some bottom line questions, some of which I'd like to share with you here today. What is my role here? What are the emotions elicited in me by the people around me, given my role here? What are the emotions I elicit in the people around me? How do I feel on a daily basis as a servant in the West? What are the emotions? What emotions do I feel as a king in Thailand? How can I set myself up as a king and feel all the positive emotions a king feels, but in a way in which I can minimize the risk of losing my wealth, given the fact that as a foreigner, for all intents and purposes, there is essentially no law in Thailand? What are we willing to give up in order to feel those emotions? How much money am I willing to spend to feel these emotions? How much time? How much of my life am I willing to trade? Is it all worth it at the end of the day? Is the high risk of leaving the West for Thailand worth it? I don't have all the answers, gentlemen, but I'm searching for them, and I believe that in time I'll be able to navigate the Thailand minefield in such a way that I don't get my legs blown off or killed, metaphorically speaking. That minefield is littered with the remains of many of our Western brothers who have come before us, and that should make us all pause and think long and hard about how to proceed to live the dream. Till next time, gentlemen, all the best.